explore different issues about this topic during our next videos. We'll explore the gender and empowerment affecting the identity process and leadership journey. Every month we will try to have a new invited guest to talk about this kind of topic. Today we would like to welcome our new first guest, Professor Carol Fuller. We asked her about feminism and different kind of talks, and we asked her to know about her thoughts about that. So let's start. She interested about the feminist and gender. Dr. Carol, today we want to start our journey with you. So we will have many episodes about this hopefully later. Maybe this video will be very interesting for the students around the world, not just in the UK, about gender topic, empowerment. So if we were gonna start today, we will ask you about why you choose this sector, why you choose to study gender and empowerment.
Okay. Well, I think anyone who's studying anything to do with people, whether it's to look at politics, economics, whether you're looking at psychology, education, anything that involves people, involves understanding what those people, who those people are. And gender, as we know, is very atopical and also something that's very important to people's sense of self. And I guess from my point of view, what I'm interested about when I think about gender and when I think about what does gender mean and how is gender important, is that gender is a social construction.
Yeah.
So I make a distinction between our biology, the way we're born. Of course, we're born male or female, but we're not born masculine and feminine.
Yeah.
So this is my academic belief.
Yeah.
I strongly believe that what it means to be male and what it means to be female is socially constructed, which basically means that the societies, the people and the places that we live and the places that we work shape our identity, and they shape our understanding of what it means to be male and female. Now what that typically means is that you have hierarchies of power, as we do with money. In terms of gender, we have hierarchies of power, where you have some groups that have more power than others.
Yes.
And what we see, regardless of context and regardless of where you are in the world, is that women tend to have less power than men.
Yeah.
So although the experiences of what it means to be a woman will be different depending where you are in the world and where you are in history, the idea of power won't be. And so when I'm thinking about gender and I'm thinking about empowerment, I'm really interested in how, first of all, we get that sense of ourselves, that understanding of who we are as males and females, and how we shape our understandings about how much power we feel we have. And then taking it a step further is doing research that enables us to think about how can I change the balance of power, how can I empower those groups of people that have less power. So in my research, what that means is how can I use understandings of gender to create empowerment. So some of my academic work has looked at girls and boys to a degree, but looked at girls and mums from particularly disadvantaged backgrounds, and to try and figure out ways of allowing them to see themselves differently, to feel more empowered, and to accept less of those circumstances where they have very little power, and to demand those circumstances which sees them having much greater equality in terms of their rights, their voice, and their access to opportunities.
For the future, if you're doing more research about this, what do you think the most important thing you need to follow up with it?
I think the most important thing to follow up on is to try and understand how we as individuals in our own unique context, so whether you're a woman at Reading University or a woman in Saudi Arabia or a woman in New Zealand, that your context is shaping your sense of yourself, and your context and your experiences and your culture is telling you how you need to behave. And it's only when we see that and we recognise that can we begin to change things. So first of all, you have to see what is that, you know, you have to see the reality. And one of the things I think with the social construction of identity, it's part of our socialization from the moment we're born. So we don't question something that we just accept as normal. But academia and study and gender studies enables us to stand back a little bit and think, is this normal? Is there another way of looking at this? Is there another explanation? And when you begin to question, you begin to understand, and when you begin to understand, you begin to create knowledge. And then as academics, if we're academics and we're interested in gender, we have this responsibility, I believe, a moral responsibility to go share with the rest of the world the things we've learned in the way that we're doing. But also in the studies that we do, in the people that we work with, the students we teach.
For the last question for our first episode, if you don't mind, one time I asked you about the difference between the feminists and activists. If you don't mind, describe it for the...
For me, so I can only talk about my perspective, so feminism I guess in a way is a spectrum, but for me feminism is about empowering and creating equality for all groups of people. So it focuses on women, but it can also focus on men and greater equality for men. So if you think about some of the inequalities that men experience in relation to family, in terms of raising the children, making decisions about the children. Children are fundamentally important to ourselves, to our sense of belonging. And when we're old, you know, these children are going to be really important. But yet, in the West at least, the men's role in that family is very much prescribed by societal expectations around what it means to be masculine. So in a way, feminism focuses on women because it tends to be women that take up the mantle, but it isn't just concerned with women. It's concerned with equality. So wherever there is an injustice, then feminists tend to be interested in that injustice, and they seek to try and create much greater balance.
Many people, Victor, I'm sorry, but this point is very, very important, especially for me as a researcher from Middle East. Many people, they believe like feminists is against the families, they are against, they want to destroy the societies. And you mentioned like it's about equality and to empower all the families.
So it's about equality. So for example, if you have a husband and a wife, and the wife is earning more money than the husband, kind of makes sense if the husband says, well, we can't both work, well, why don't you work and I'll look after the children. But if society tells you that that's not okay, your family suffers because your family isn't enjoying the same sort of life that it might enjoy. So it's absolutely not about breaking up families, it's about making things equal, and making things equal for families and for the children and for the societies that those families live in.
Thank you.
Okay.
So thanks, Dr. Carol, and thanks, and we will hope to see you next video.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can really talk.